Check out FlipsideGaming.com for all your gaming needs. Use the promo code HEROES to save 10% on all orders over $10 and support the channel at the same time. Hey there, it's John from Heroes and Legends, and we got some breaking Magic the Gathering news to talk about today. On their website, they released an article. I'll link it in the description below if you want a closer look at it, but they discussed some changes coming to the Grand Prix as well as the regional Pro Tour qualifiers in 2018. They also showed us a couple of the promos that are tied into those events. You can see one on the screen already, Noble Hierarch. We'll talk more about that in just a few moments. Quickly, before we get into all the information, just a real fast reminder, if you're looking for a way to support the channel and what we do here, check out the description below. You're going to find our Patreon page linked below. You can see how to get a hold of these classic art tokens, the new one being the treasure token, but we're still giving out the angel token from earlier this year too, and this goes out to silver and gold patrons. There's more details, of course, on the Patreon page. Also below, you'll find some links to Amazon products. If you make any purchases on Amazon, really it can be anything. Once you go through our links, we'll get a small percentage back. And then finally, Flipside Gaming, of course, still offering a promo code for our viewers. They're doing pre-orders right now for Iconic Masters, but check out their site and hopefully save yourself some money and support the channel. With that being said, let's get into the information for today, beginning with the Grand Prix. We'll begin with the changes to the number of rounds as well as the cut to day 2. Now, for the longest time in a GP, you had to go at least 7 and 2 to make it to day 2. Not too long ago, that changed to 6 and 3 because they wanted to allow more players to get to day 2, have that thrill, and perhaps play for some prizes. But really, if you go in as a 6 and 3, you're not going to be top 8ing, winning the tournament necessarily or anything like that. You're just kind of playing out for prizes, which is still pretty cool. Now, the big change you're going to see here is for most Grand Prix, they are now going to go down to 8 rounds on day 1. So that's a pretty big change after many, many years where it's always been 9 rounds. So I think that's good because 9 rounds is a very long day. But because you're losing a round, now you do have to go at least 6 and 2 to make it to day 2. So you don't have that extra loss to throw away anymore. You still have to get 6 wins. That hasn't changed. But you don't have that extra opportunity to do so anymore by winning that last game at the end. Now, this does lead to some other changes as well for different types of GPs. One thing to keep in mind, limited GPs are a little awkward because of the math that it takes to work out draft pods for day 2. So those are going to be a little bit different. They are still going to be 9 rounds. However, after round 8, players that are not at least 6 and 2 will be cut at that point. All players 6, 2, and better will get to play round 9, and even if you lose round 9, that's okay. Everyone's still going to day 2. The cut's really just after round 8. And that's just so the math works out for day 2 draft pods and such. Secondly, Team Grand Prix. Day 1 will also be 8 rounds with a cut at 6-2, with 6 rounds played on day 2 before the top 4. So those are the major changes really with the Grand Prix, but there's a couple other things to mention too. First off, let's talk about something fun for a second and not math. Mutavault. Mutavault is going to be the promo card for all the Grand Prix in 2018. So if you're in a main event Grand Prix in 2018, you'll get one of these cards. It's a foil Mutavault with John Avon art. It looks amazing. Now keep in mind with these particular promos, there's a lot of these printed. A lot of folks go to Grand Prix over the course of the year. So typically these kind of tank the prices of the original cards and they're not ultra expensive themselves. But this particular one looks really sweet again with that art and the foiling probably looks amazing. So I could see a lot of players wanting to pick this one up for their collections or for their cubes, commander, or even their constructed decks. Just a really cool promo here. All right, let's say you don't go 6 and 2 at day 1 of your Grand Prix. You're looking for something to do on Sunday. Well, they have the Sunday Pro Tour qualifiers at Grand Prix. But what format are they going to be? Well, they outline it all for you right here. And basically going forward, what you need to know is whatever the main Grand Prix format is, that's what the PTQ format is going to be. Which does mean it's possible to have a legacy PTQ. That's actually pretty sweet. So keep that in mind. Also, if it is a double Grand Prix weekend, then there'll be 2 PTQs, one for each of the formats. So for example, maybe it's standard and legacy. Now, another thing you have to keep in mind that when it comes to team Grand Prix, there is a little bit of a change. From January into May 2018, all team format main events for these PTQs will be team limited. However, after May, Grand Prix with team format main events will feature individual limited PTQs, and that's just due to the Pro Tours that they are feeding. Pro Tour 25th anniversary versus the Fall Pro Tour. So again, more information if you want to read into that. I've linked it below, but let's move on to something completely different now. and that is the Regional Pro Tour qualifier. So a couple big changes here, but first off, if you're not familiar with these, basically you have to win a PTQ first. Once you do, you are invited to go to any of the Regional Pro Tour qualifiers that occur. You can choose which one you want to go to. But once you go, then this is what you need to know. The amount of invitations to the Pro Tour has changed a little bit. It's now going to be tied in with attendance. So you can see it here. 94 plus, there'll be 8 folks going to the Pro Tour. That means your top 8. 47 to 93, 4. 17 to 46 will be 2, and 8 to 16 will be 1. So just kind of makes sense that they're wanting to make sure that the people that get invites really deserve them, and they're not coming out of maybe a really small pool, for example, like an 8 to 16 tournament. So this makes sense. I felt like this was probably coming. Secondly, they also tied in the invitations for the next RPTQ. So in other words, if you do well enough in an RPTQ, you don't necessarily have to qualify again next time in another PTQ. You can get an automatic invite. That's what you're seeing here. So basically 47 plus, 8 players, your top 8 will get to come back again. 47 through 46, 4 players, and 8 through 16, 2 players. But maybe most importantly out of all this information is this promo card for anyone that makes it to an RPTQ and attends. You'll get a foil Noble Hierarch. Amazing art. The art looks awesome on this. And yeah, the card looks super sweet. So just from a financial point of view, a lot less of these get printed than the Grand Prix promos. So this isn't going to tank the price of Noble Hierarch. This isn't going to be a cheap pickup or anything like that, like maybe Mutavault will be. But this is a card that anytime you get more copies out there, I think is a good thing. The only thing I worry about, though, is now that we're seeing it here, it makes me wonder if it's going to show up in Masters 25. I feel like a lot of people are banking on that. So if it doesn't show up there, then this might be the only printing of it we see for a while. That's kind of scary because that card has been going up in price over the last year or so, and it's still very expensive, even though it has calmed down a little bit recently. So it's really cool. I'm glad they're doing it, but I still hope it shows up in Masters 25, but I'm not sure at this point. But I don't know. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on all of this stuff. The promo cards, the changes. You think they're good? They're bad? Do you like the promos? Are you worried about maybe not seeing this now in Masters 25? Give me your thoughts. And until next time, hey, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. And have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible by the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.